Yeah. I just thought I'd look at the actual carbon tax. Yes. Because it seems like there's a reluctance, right? There's carbon, color forms, carbon dioxide, carbon footprint. Yeah. Greenhouse gases. Global warming is potentially harmful, increasing the Earth's average temperature. See global warming. Yeah. Now, this carbon footprint has two parts: a primary footprint and a secondary footprint. Yeah. Primary footprint measures the emission caused directly. For example, the primary footprint of driving a car includes greenhouse gases emitted by the car's engine. Now, then there's a secondary carbon footprint measures the greenhouse gases that go into manufacturing and maintenance of products people use or buy. Yeah. Now, these carbon footprint calculators help people and organizations and estimate the release of greenhouse gases that result from their activities. And choices. Now, see also carbon footprint, climate changes, and carbon dioxide concentration. So it is carbon dioxide, and then there's dry ice, fire extinguishers, and gasoline engines. Now, I thought carbon dioxide has been increasing since the early to middle 1800s, chiefly as a result of burning of fuels that contain carbon. The greenhouse effect, yes. Now, this thought of carbon dioxide is slowly warming the Earth's surface. Yeah. Do you know the effect on carbon dioxide on nanotechnology? Well, I'm just curious about it because it seems that we have a taxation structure where we're going to actually tax those that are increasing the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Yes, because it's their fault. And this gas becomes a solid at minus 109 degrees, point 3. Yeah. Dry ice because of normal pressures. Yeah. Now, the carbon monoxide legislation where you're going to offer carbon dioxide credits. Yeah. What exactly is the effect of nanotechnology? And because when you think of nanotechnology, you think of these minuscule little computers, right? Where you could put it in the food supply and you'd say, well, it's lizard or it's fish or it's something that is useful in controlling a person's thoughts or their actual actions. Yeah. But when you think it's just immune, it has no effect. The atmospheric conditions, the breathing of the person doesn't affect it at all. But it could be that it's carbon dioxide based. Do you know how they make? I actually do know how you make organic nanotechnology. I read an article in Popular Science. Yes. Now, when we look through all of those that are in the manufacturing of any nanotechnology, how many of them are manufacturing carbon dioxide nanotechnology? Yeah. And then how many of them are manufacturing oxygen technology? Because nanotechnology, the word organic is that it's alive. Yes, it has to be able to breathe right now. Now, there used to be what was known as sparkles. Yes. And then somebody thought, no, we're going to go with the carbon dioxide nanotechnology. Yes. Now, Washington State lethal injection and hanging. This is capital punishment. You know, if you were to introduce something into the food supply or the actual breathing, yeah, capital refers to anything that produces a stream of income for over time for individuals or communities. Let's say you as a city decided, well, we have to control them, isn't that right? Yeah. And we're going to put something in the water or the food because you didn't have available airplanes or you did. Well, you took it upon yourself to introduce a nanotechnology that increases because it's organic. Yeah. So that you would make sure now share of there's capital punishment and then there's capital. exactly what individual, judge this microscopic nanotechnology that can be influenced because of the use of technology? I actually had designed an innovation to get rid of it. I called it the spa. Really, what happens is you go into a room where I had designed a building material made of very high temperature garbage that was very compressed, approximately 2,500 to 3,000 degrees. Yes, but it's so super dense that Wi-Fi can't get through it. Now, you would say that Wi-Fi, 3G, any of these technologies can get through any wall. All right. They go right through concrete. They go through plexiglass. I mean, you think about the number of cell phones and the 3G, 4G, and 5G. In fact, give me the 5G. Because I just thought of Apple and their use of certain technologies. What type of barrier, as in a wall structure, yes, would be necessary to prevent all known types of technology from, well, let's say you had 3,000 degree recycled garbage in an autoclave where you compressed it into a very dense building material that did not allow for any electromagnetic frequencies to go through it. Right. Now, let's say you're laying there. It's a spa experience. You're drinking fresh juices. Yeah. You're listening to some really good music, and you just sit there and allow for your body to relax. And then you just take a little horse pill that happens to be a radio transmitter. Now, nanotechnology's response to technology, yes, whether that's satellite technology, yes, whether it's television broadcasting technology, yeah, 3G, 4G, or 5G, yes, regular old Wi-Fi that's provided through DSL lines, yes, telephone lines, right, or then the use of electricity. Then there's radio frequencies. Exactly how do you get your nanotechnology? Oops, my right foot just stepped on the gas. Now, everybody had to have their own. Oh my gosh, that vaginal muscle is just saturated. How do you get nanotechnology to permeate the actual muscles? Yes, so as to cause the involuntary utterance, pooch, pouch, poo. How do you get nanotechnology to cause the left hand to do something or the right hand? Now, for all of those in office that said, well, I have to win the election, the use of recycles, well, why don't you give me all the used broadband of the nation? Because when broadband goes from receive, as in you're surfing the internet, yes, the broadband is pulled in and it loads the actual web page, yes, and it's send and receive, but really it's receive and then send because to load a web page, yes, it involves the use of the internet. Yes. Now, why don't you just tell me how your nanotechnology works? Because